All right. Buckle up, kids, because we're about to drop in on a state that's basically one giant postcard. Yeah, you heard me right. We're talking about Montana, land of the big sky, home to more mountains than your Instagram feed can handle. This ain't your average travel vlog. No, sir. We're diving headfirst into the heart of the action, exploring the hidden gems and iconic landmarks that make Montana a must-see destination. Whether you're a seasoned adventurer or a city slicker looking for a breath of fresh air, trust me, Montana will blow your mind. We're talking towering peaks, pristine lakes, and wildlife encounters that'll make your heart race. Think epic hikes, roaring waterfalls, and sunsets that paint the sky in 1,000 shades of gold. And hey, if you're lucky, you might even spot a grizzly bear or two, just, from a safe distance. So, what are you waiting for? Grab your hiking boots, pack your sense of adventure, and get ready for the ride of a lifetime. This is Montana, baby. Let's do this thing. First up on our Montana adventure, Glacier National Park. Over 1 million acres of pristine wilderness, jagged peaks, and endless shades of blue and green. They don't call it the crown of the continent for nothing. A hiker's paradise with trails through alpine meadows and glacial lakes. Imagine trekking through towering pines, the air crisp and clean. Then, bam! A view that stops you in your tracks. A crystal-clear lake reflecting snow-capped peaks. Glacier's got something for everyone, even cozy lodges to relax after a day of exploring. Now, we can't talk about Glacier without mentioning the legendary Going to the Sun Road. This 50-mile stretch of asphalt is basically a roller coaster carved into the side of a mountain. Hairpin turns, sheer drop-offs, and views that'll make your head spin. It's not for the faint of heart, but trust me, it's an experience you won't soon forget. Picture this. You're cruising along, windows down, wind in your hair, the engine humming like a symphony of freedom. You look to your left and it's like the world just drops off into this vast expanse of green valleys and snow-capped peaks. You look to your right and you're practically scraping the clouds. Talk about an adrenaline rush, but the Going to the Sun Road isn't just about the thrills, it's also about the journey. Along the way you'll encounter cascading waterfalls, fields of wildflowers bursting with color, and maybe even a mountain goat or two perched precariously on a cliff. It's like driving through a nature documentary, only you're actually there, living it, breathing it, feeling the spray of the waterfalls on your face. And let's be real, no road trip is complete without a few stops along the way. Pull over at one of the many overlooks, lace up your hiking boots and hit the trails. There are hikes for every skill level, from leisurely strolls to challenging climbs, but no matter which trail you choose, one thing's for sure, you're in for a treat. Now, let's talk about the real stars of Glacier National Park, the wildlife. This place is teeming with creatures big and small, from majestic elk to playful otters. Even the occasional grizzly bear. This is the real deal, raw and untamed. Imagine hiking through a meadow, the sun warm on your face when you hear a rustle in the trees. You freeze, your heart pounding, and then you see it. A magnificent bull elk emerges from the tree line. He pauses as if sizing you up, then lets out a haunting bugle. Or picture paddling across a pristine lake, the water so clear you can see the bottom. Suddenly, a flash of brown fur catches your eye. A playful otter pops its head up, its whiskers twitching as it checks you out. It dives back under, then resurfaces a few feet away as if playing peekaboo. Encountering wildlife can be intimidating, but it's incredibly humbling. A reminder we're not the only ones here. Nature is a powerful force, so when exploring Glacier National Park, be respectful of the wildlife, keep your distance, make noise, and don't feed the bears. All right, folks, buckle up because we're about to enter a world where the ground bubbles, water shoots into the air, and bison roam free. That's right, we're talking Yellowstone National Park, America's first national park, and let me tell you, it's a wild ride. Forget Disneyland. This is the real deal when it comes to natural wonders. We're talking geysers erupting with the force of 1,000 fire hydrants, hot springs painted in colors you wouldn't believe, and enough geothermal activity to power a small city. It's like stepping onto another planet, except you don't need a spacesuit. Well, maybe just a raincoat for the geysers, but Yellowstone isn't all bubbling mud pots and scalding water. It's also home to some of the most stunning landscapes you'll ever lay eyes on. Think vast meadows teeming with wildflowers, towering waterfalls crashing into deep canyons, and forests so dense you'd swear you stepped into a fairy tale. So whether you're a science nerd fascinated by the power of Mother Nature or an outdoor enthusiast looking for your next adventure, Yellowstone's got you covered. Just remember to pack your sense of wonder, because you're about to witness things that'll make you question everything you thought you knew about the world. Let's be real, you can't talk about Yellowstone without talking about the geysers. I mean, these things are legendary. We're talking about jets of boiling water shooting hundreds of feet into the air. Of course, the star of the show is Old Faithful. This geyser is like the Beyoncé of the geyser world. Every 90 minutes, Old Faithful erupts in a towering plume of water and steam. It's like a giant pressure cooker releasing all its pent-up energy. But Old Faithful isn't the only game in town. Yellowstone is home to over 500 geysers. There's Steamboat Geyser, the tallest active geyser in the world. Then there's Grand Geyser, known for its unpredictable eruptions. And then there are the hot springs. These aren't your average hot tubs. We're talking pools of water painted in vibrant hues thanks to unique bacteria. The most famous is the Grand Prismatic Spring. Just remember, these hot springs might look inviting, but they're not for swimming. The water is scorching hot. Trust me, you don't want to be that guy. Okay, so we've talked about the geysers, the hot springs, the stunning landscapes, but no trip to Yellowstone is complete without encountering its other residents, the wildlife. And trust me, this ain't no petting zoo. We're talking about animals in their natural habitat, wild and unpredictable. Imagine this, you're driving along, windows down, enjoying the scenery, when all of a sudden traffic comes to a standstill. You crane your neck to see what the holdup is, and there, right in the middle of the road, is a herd of bison. Not just one or two, but dozens of them, massive beasts with shaggy coats and horns that could pierce steel. They saunter across the asphalt, completely unfazed by the line of cars they've brought to a halt. Or, picture this. You're hiking through a meadow, wildflowers blooming all around you, when you spot a flash of black and white in the distance. You raise your binoculars, and there, perched on a hillside, is a lone wolf, its piercing gaze scanning the horizon. It lets out a haunting howl, a sound that sends chills down your spine and then disappears into the trees. And then there are the bears. Yellowstone is home to both black bears and grizzly bears, and encountering one of these magnificent creatures is an experience you won't soon forget. But remember, these are wild animals, not cuddly teddy bears. Keep your distance, make noise on the trail, and carry bear spray just in case. Look, I'm not trying to scare you, but I am trying to keep you safe. Respect the wildlife, follow park regulations, and you'll have an amazing time exploring the wild side of Yellowstone. We've talked about the geysers, hot springs, and stunning landscapes, but no trip to Yellowstone is complete without encountering its wildlife. This ain't no petting zoo. Animals in their natural habitat, wild and unpredictable. Imagine driving along, windows down, enjoying the scenery, when traffic comes to a standstill. You crane your neck to see what the holdup is, and there, in the middle of the road, is a herd of bison. Dozens of them, massive beasts with shaggy coats and horns. They saunter across the asphalt, unfazed by the line of cars. Or, picture this. You're hiking through a meadow, wildflowers blooming, when you spot a flash of black and white. You raise your binoculars, and there on a hillside is a lone wolf, its piercing gaze scanning the horizon. It lets out a haunting howl, sending chills down your spine, and then disappears into the trees. And then there are the bears. Yellowstone is home to both black bears and grizzly bears, and encountering one of these magnificent creatures is unforgettable. But remember, these are wild animals, not teddy bears. Keep your distance, make noise on the trail, and carry bear spray just in case. Look, I'm not trying to scare you, but I am trying to keep you safe. Respect the wildlife, follow park regulations, and you'll have an amazing time exploring the wild side of Yellowstone. All right, we're on to number 3 on our Montana adventure, and guys, trust me, this one is special. We're talking about Flathead Lake, the largest freshwater lake west of the Mississippi. Imagine this, crystal clear water, so blue it puts the sky to shame, surrounded by these towering mountains. It's a sight that'll make you want to ditch the camera and just soak it all in. But don't worry, you'll have plenty of time for that, because Flathead Lake isn't just about jaw-dropping scenery. It's about experiencing nature at its finest. This place is basically a giant playground for anyone who loves the outdoors. And did I mention the size of this thing? I mean, we're talking 200 square miles of pure water fun. That's like 10 Central Parks, all filled with lake instead of tourists. You could spend a week exploring all the hidden coves and beaches and still feel like you've only scratched the surface. So, bottom line, if you're looking for a place to escape the city, reconnect with nature, and maybe catch a fish or two, Flathead Lake is calling your name. Just don't blame me when you never want to leave. Now let's talk activities. Flathead Lake is like an all-you-can-adventure buffet. Feeling adventurous, rent a kayak or paddleboard and explore the endless shoreline. You might even spot some wildlife eagles, osprey, maybe even a deer taking a sip at the water's edge. Want something a little more chill? Grab a fishing rod and cast a line. The lake is teeming with trout, so you're almost guaranteed a good catch. And hey, even if the fish aren't biting, you can always just kick back, soak up the sun and enjoy the peace and quiet. And for those of you who like to get your adrenaline pumping, there's always water skiing, wakeboarding or even parasailing. Yeah, you heard that right. Soaring above Flathead Lake, wind in your hair, views for days, talk about an unforgettable experience. But honestly, one of my favorite things to do at Flathead Lake is just find a secluded beach, lay down a blanket and read a book. The sound of the waves, the fresh mountain air, the stunning scenery. It's the perfect recipe for relaxation. Okay, so we've covered the lake itself, but let's not forget about the charming towns that surround it. Places like Big Fork, Lakeside and Polson, each with their own unique vibe and local flavor. Imagine strolling down quaint streets lined with shops selling handmade crafts and local art, grabbing a bite to eat at a family-run restaurant with views that'll make your jaw drop, or just soaking up the friendly, small-town atmosphere that seems lost in so many other places. And speaking of food, let's talk about the huckleberry. It's this little purple berry that grows wild in the mountains around Flathead Lake. And trust me, it's delicious. Huckleberry pie, huckleberry ice cream, huckleberry jam, you name it, they've got it. And it's all made with that fresh local goodness that just can't be beat. So, yeah, Flathead Lake is more than just a lake. It's a destination, a place to escape, explore, and experience the best that Montana has to offer. And trust me, once you've had a taste of it, you'll be coming back for more. All right, buckle up because we're heading to Big Sky country. And I'm not just talking about the wide open spaces. No, we're talking about Big Sky Resort, a legendary destination for anyone who lives for the thrill of the slopes. Over 5,800 acres of skiable terrain, 4,350 vertical feet of heart-pumping descent, and enough powder to satisfy even the most hardcore powder hound. Big Sky's got it all, from gentle groomers for beginners to double black diamond shoots that'll make your heart skip a beat. And after a long day on the slopes, there's nothing quite like kicking back in the village, grabbing a hot chocolate or a local craft beer and swapping stories with fellow skiers and snowboarders. It's that sense of community, that shared love for the mountain, that really makes Big Sky special. But hold up, because Big Sky isn't just a winter wonderland. This place transforms into an outdoor enthusiast's paradise come summertime. Think miles of hiking and mountain biking trails, winding through pristine forests and meadows bursting with wildflowers. And the views? Don't even get me started on the views. From the top of Lone Peak, you can see for literally hundreds of miles in every direction. It's enough to make you question if you're still on planet Earth. And if you're looking for a little more adrenaline, Big Sky's got you covered there too. Ziplining, whitewater rafting, rock climbing, you name it, they've got it. It's like an adventure menu, and you get to choose your own flavor of awesome. But honestly, one of my favorite things to do in Big Sky during the summer is just find a quiet spot by the Gallatin River cast a line and listen to the sound of the water rushing by. It's the perfect way to unwind, recharge, and soak up the natural beauty of this incredible place. Now let's talk accommodation. Big Sky's got something for everyone, from cozy cabins nestled in the woods to luxurious slopeside condos with all the bells and whistles. And trust me, after a long day of skiing or hiking, there's nothing quite like coming back to a warm, inviting space where you can relax and recharge. And speaking of recharging, Big Sky's got a killer food scene too, from casual pubs serving up hearty mountain food to upscale restaurants with award-winning chefs. You're guaranteed to find something to satisfy your cravings. And hey, if you're looking for a little après-ski action, Big Sky's got that covered too. There are bars and pubs scattered throughout the village, each with its own unique vibe and atmosphere. So whether you're looking to grab a drink with friends, listen to live music, or just soak up the lively atmosphere, you're sure to find your scene. So yeah, Big Sky Resort is more than just a ski resort. It's an experience, a place where adventure meets luxury, where nature takes center stage, and where memories are made that last a lifetime. Trust me, this is one destination you don't want to miss. All right, we're trading in the ski boots for some hiking shoes as we head to Missoula, Montana. Now, Missoula might not be the first place that comes to mind when you think of Montana, but trust me, this place is a hidden gem. It's got this cool, eclectic vibe, kind of like a mini Portland or Austin, nestled right in the heart of Big Sky country. We're talking a vibrant downtown packed with independent shops, art galleries, and some of the best craft breweries you'll find anywhere. Seriously, the craft beer scene here is off the charts. And the coffee, don't even get me started on the coffee. It's like everyone here runs on a steady stream of locally roasted caffeine and creative energy. But Missoula's not just about hipster vibes and microbrews. It's also a gateway to some of the most incredible wilderness areas in the lower 48. We're talking the Rattlesnake Wilderness, the Bitterroot Mountains, and the Blackfoot River, all just a stone's throw from downtown. So yeah, Missoula is a town of contrasts. It's got this urban energy, this creative spirit, but it's also deeply connected to the natural world that surrounds it. And that's what makes it so special. Now let's talk about those outdoor adventures, because Missoula is an outdoor lover's paradise. We're talking world-class fly fishing on the Blackfoot River, miles of hiking and biking trails in the surrounding mountains, and rock climbing that'll test your skills and leave you breathless, in a good way, of course. And if you're feeling really adventurous, you can always try your hand at whitewater rafting on the Alberton Gorge. It's a wild ride through Class 3 rapids, surrounded by towering canyon walls. Trust me, it's an experience you won't soon forget. But even if you're not an adrenaline junkie, there are plenty of ways to enjoy the great outdoors in Missoula. Take a stroll along the Clark Fork River, rent a kayak and explore the waters, or just find a quiet spot in one of the many parks and soak up the sunshine. And don't forget about the wildlife. Missoula is home to all sorts of critters, from deer and elk to bears and eagles. So keep your eyes peeled and you might just spot something amazing. Now, one of the things I love most about Missoula is that it's managed to retain its small-town charm despite its growing popularity. The people are friendly, the pace of life is relaxed, and there's a real sense of community here. And speaking of community, Missoula has a thriving arts and culture scene. We're talking live music venues, art galleries, and theatres, all showcasing the talents of local artists and performers. And if you're a history buff, you'll definitely want to check out the Historical Museum at Fort Missoula. It's full of fascinating exhibits about the history of Missoula and the surrounding area. So, yeah, Missoula is a town that has it all. It's got the great outdoors, the vibrant culture, the friendly people, and the laid-back vibe. It's the kind of place where you can come for a weekend and end up staying a lifetime. And trust me, you just might. All right, we're hitting up Bozeman next, and let me tell you, this place has a vibe. It's a real college town, Montana State University, right there in the heart of it all. You can feel that energy, that buzz of ideas and late-night study sessions fueled by gallons of coffee. But don't think for a second that it's all textbooks and exams. This town knows how to have a good time. Think breweries with live music spilling out onto the sidewalks, art galleries showcasing local talent, and restaurants serving up food that'll make you want to slap your mama. Good, obviously, not literally. Speaking of museums, Bozeman's got a few gems. The Museum of the Rockies, dude, dinosaurs. Need I say more? Okay, I'll say more. It's not just dinosaur bones. Although they do have a T-Rex named Big Mike, and he is awesome. They've also got exhibits on Montana history, Native American culture, and even space exploration. Then you've got the American Computer Museum, which is a trip down memory lane, even if you're not a tech geek. Remember those giant computers that took up entire rooms? They've got those. And vintage video games, early Apple computers, the whole shebang. It's like stepping back in time, but in a cool, nostalgic way, not a creepy Back to the Future kind of way. Let's talk about those mountains. They're an open invitation to explore. Hiking, mountain biking, rock climbing, fishing, camping. Bozeman's got it all. First up, Highlight Canyon. Waterfalls, granite peaks, alpine lakes. It's like a postcard. Then there's the Bridger Mountains. Skiers and snowboarders love Bridger Bowl's terrain and powder. In summer, it's perfect for hiking and camping. For a laid-back adventure, head to the Gallatin River, rent a tube, grab a beer, and float your cares away. Bozeman, man, it's got it all. It's got... All right, next stop on our Montana adventure, Helena, the state capital. Now, I know what you're thinking, capital city, huh? Sounds kind of stuffy, kind of boring, but trust me on this one. Helena is anything but boring. It's got this cool, historic vibe, like stepping back in time, but with good coffee shops and craft breweries. First things first, the architecture. We're talking grand Victorian mansions, ornate government buildings, and charming brick storefronts. It's like walking through a history book, but in a good way, not in a dusty, boring way. If you're a history buff, then Helena is your jam, and there's no better place to start your historical deep dive than at the Montana State Capitol. This building is a beauty inside and out. We're talking marble staircases, stained glass windows, and murals depicting Montana's history. It's like stepping back in time, but in a good way. And right across the street from the Capitol is another must-see, the Montana Historical Society Museum. This place is packed with artifacts and exhibits that tell the story of Montana, from its Native American roots to its gold rush days to its present-day identity. You'll see everything from pioneer wagons to vintage mining equipment to Lewis and Clark's actual compass. No replicas here, folks. This is the real deal. Helena's the capital city, but you can still get your outdoor fix. Montana's stunning natural beauty is right on Helena's doorstep. Mountains, forests, lakes, all within easy reach. First up, Mount Helena City Park. Over 600 acres of trails. Hiking, biking, and horseback riding. The summit views are worth the climb. You can see the whole city and distant Rockies. Then there's the gates of the mountains wilderness area. A boater's paradise with towering limestone cliffs. Rent a kayak or take a guided boat tour. Head to Canyon Ferry Lake to cool off. Swimming, fishing, and boating with stunning views. Crystal clear water and pine-covered hills. It's enough to make you want to move here. Welcome to Great Falls, Montana, home to stunning waterfalls. These waterfalls are a force of nature, showcasing the raw power of the Missouri River. The biggest is Giant Springs, sending millions of gallons over a 40-foot drop. The mist and roar are awe-inspiring. These falls were a major obstacle for Lewis and Clark. Visit the Interpretive Center to learn more about their journey. Now, Great Falls isn't just about waterfalls and explorers. This town has a surprising number of museums, each one offering a unique glimpse into different aspects of Montana's history and culture. Let's start with the C.M. Russell Museum Complex. Charles M. Russell, if you don't know, was a legendary artist, known for his paintings and sculptures of the American West. This museum houses the largest collection of his work anywhere in the world. We're talking paintings that'll transport you back to the days of cowboys and Indians, sculptures that capture the spirit of the Wild West, and even Russell's personal letters and belongings. Great Falls is known for its green spaces and natural beauty. One of the highlights is Giant Springs State Park. With over 4,500 acres of forests, meadows and wetlands, it's perfect for hiking and picnics. For adventure, head to the Little Belt Mountains. The views are worth the climb. And don't miss the Lewis and Clark National Historic Trail. Experience history and Montana's wilderness. All right, guys, we're moving on from the bustling cityscapes and hitting you with some pure, unadulterated nature. Lewis and Clark Caverns State Park. This place is like stepping into another world. We're talking massive underground caves, stalactites hanging like chandeliers, stalagmites rising from the ground. It's like something straight out of an Indiana Jones movie, minus the whole booby trap thing. So, picture this. You're wearing a headlamp, the air is cool and damp, and you're surrounded by these incredible formations that have been forming for millions of years. It's humbling, you know, it makes you realize how small you are in the grand scheme of things. And the best part is, these caves are just waiting to be explored. You can take guided tours, learn about the geology and history of the caverns, and even do some spelunking if you're feeling adventurous. I'm not talking about hardcore crawling through tight spaces, spelunking, but enough to get your heart racing. Trust me, guys, Lewis and Clark Caverns is an experience you won't forget. It's like stepping back in time into this hidden world beneath our feet. It's a good reminder that the most amazing adventures often lie just beyond the surface. Now I know what you're thinking. Casey, caves are cool and all, but what about some fresh air? Don't worry, I got you covered. Lewis and Clark Caverns State Park isn't just about the underground. Above ground, you've got hiking trails winding through forests, offering breathtaking views of the surrounding mountains and valleys. Imagine this. You're hiking through this lush green landscape, the sun's shining, birds are singing, and you stumble upon a secluded waterfall cascading down the rocks. It's the perfect spot to take a break, catch your breath, and soak up the serenity of nature. And if you're lucky, you might even spot some wildlife along the way. We're talking deer, elk, maybe even a black bear or two. But don't worry, just be aware of your surroundings, keep your distance, and you'll be good to go. The point is, Lewis and Clark Caverns State Park has something for everyone. Whether you're an adrenaline junkie looking for adventure or a nature enthusiast seeking peace and tranquility, this place has got you covered. Now, for those of you who really want to immerse yourselves in the beauty of this park, I highly recommend spending a night under the stars. Lewis and Clark Caverns has a campground, so you can pitch a tent, build a campfire, and just enjoy the peace and quiet of nature. Imagine this. The sun's setting, casting a warm glow over the mountains, and the stars are starting to twinkle in the night sky. You're sitting around a crackling campfire, sharing stories with friends or family, and just enjoying the simple things in life. And the best part is, you're just a stone's throw away from the caverns. So you can wake up early, grab a cup of coffee, and be one of the first people to explore the caves before the crowds arrive. Look, I've said it before and I'll say it again. There's something truly magical about sleeping under the stars. It connects you to nature in a way that nothing else can. And at Lewis and Clark Caverns, you've got the added bonus of having these incredible caves right at your doorstep. So pack your camping gear, grab your loved ones, and get ready for an unforgettable experience. All right, folks, buckle up because we're heading to Whitefish, Montana, a place that truly embodies the spirit of adventure. Now, if you're an adrenaline junkie like me, you've probably heard of Whitefish Mountain Resort. It's a winter wonderland, a haven for skiers and snowboarders of all skill levels. Picture this. You're carving down the slopes, fresh powder spraying in your wake, the wind whipping through your hair. The views from the top of the mountain are breathtaking, panoramic vistas of snow-capped peaks stretching as far as the eye can see. It's exhilarating, it's freeing, it's pure magic. Now, I know not everyone is an adrenaline junkie. Some people prefer a more laid-back pace, and that's totally cool. That's where Whitefish Lake comes in. This pristine lake is a haven for all things water-related. We're talking swimming, kayaking, paddleboarding, fishing, you name it. Imagine this. You're out on the lake, the sun warming your skin, the gentle breeze whispering through the trees. You cast your line, hoping to reel in a big one. Or maybe you just kick back and relax, soaking up the tranquility of your surroundings. But the adventures don't end there. Whitefish is more than just a ski town or a lakeside retreat. It's a town with character, a town with soul. The downtown area is charming, with its brick sidewalks, art galleries, and cozy cafes. You can easily spend an afternoon just wandering around, poking your head into shops and soaking up the local vibe. And let's not forget about the food scene. Whitefish has some seriously good restaurants, from farm-to-table eateries to cozy pubs serving up hearty comfort food. And after a long day of exploring, there's nothing better than sitting down to a delicious meal with a cold beer or a glass of local wine. Look, Whitefish is one of those places that just gets under your skin. It's a place where you can be yourself, whether you're an adrenaline junkie, a nature lover, or just someone who appreciates a good cup of coffee and a friendly face. And there you have it, folks. Our whirlwind tour of the top 10 must-visit places in Montana. We've explored majestic mountains, pristine lakes, and charming towns, each with its own unique flavor and charm. We've hiked through Glacier National Park, witnessed the geothermal wonders of Yellowstone, felt the adrenaline rush at Big Sky Resort, and soaked up the local culture in Missoula, Bozeman, Helena, and Great Falls. We even ventured underground at Lewis and Clark Caverns and experienced the magic of Whitefish. I hope this video has inspired you to add Montana to your travel bucket list. It's a state that truly has something for everyone, from outdoor enthusiasts to city slickers. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. Thanks for joining me on this epic adventure, guys. Don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and let me know in the comments below which place you're most excited to visit. Until next time, keep exploring, keep adventuring, and keep living life to the fullest. Peace out.